He is, yeah. He's given Andy Robertson a torrid time. I remember in his early days, Andy Robertson was very good on him, but obviously he's stronger, he's quicker, he's more experienced, and right from the off, obviously him and Ben White have got a great relationship. You know, obviously their eyes must have met, and then, you know, the ball, too much time, no one's closing Ben White down, and this is a problem for him. Once this goes behind, you know he wants to come back inside. I think Andy's too tight. He's overshot it, you know, and Bukayo Saka, you know he wants to come back in on that left foot, but, you know, I think the ball from Ben White's fantastic. But here, I think that Andy Robertson's got to do it. He's got too tight there. There's not much he could do, but I think he can't make it as easy as this. And, you know, bam, it's a perfect start. Perfect start.
Yeah, they've been distinctly second best, Liverpool. I've actually been a little disappointed in them. Some of the players haven't got involved in the game. I thought Diaz should do more against Partey. Mo Salah's hardly had a kick of the ball. You know, the midfielders are a little tiny bit passive. They've gone backwards a lot. I mean, this is all because of the Arsenal pressure, of course. But they've been... Liverpool have been second best today in that first half. They need an improvement in the second half.
And as you can see, in terms of the youngest of 50 Premier League goals, Bukayo Saka is in very good company there, with some of those names. Robbie Fowler holding the record by 4 days. I should point out, Alan played in the old First Division before the Premier League came up, before you started growling at me where you were.
I wasn't saying a word.
That's right. Football didn't exist, you see. You know,
what have you made of it?
I think Arsenal have been the better team. They deserve to be in front. They've certainly looked more threatening in forward positions. And with Saka, I mean, we talked of his importance before the game. That 45 minutes has just highlighted how good he is, if anyone didn't know. Right, he's correct. He's given Andy Robertson a horrible time. Every time he's got the ball, you can just hear the excitement. You can feel his confidence and his belief that he's got in it. And he knows he's got Andy Robertson on toast.
They did get level through a set piece, a well-worked set piece from Liverpool's
Yes,
point of
it
view.
was, yeah. Just a simple ball in from Trent Alexander-Arnold, in a great movement from Diaz, poor from Havertz. You know, Havertz's job is marshalling that front post. You do not let anybody get in front of you. And Diaz waltzes in there actually really, really easily, gets a nice flick on, and it's just instinct, isn't it? Van Dijk in front of Partey just to get diverted goal bounce.
I think when you look at that one, I think Kai will be very disappointed with that, because when you look how it's not coming high, it's coming with good pace. But if he steps forward, one step forward, he probably doesn't get in front of him, Diaz. But Diaz has to get credit for making the move and getting the touch just when he needed to.
You said Mikel Moreno needed to give you something today.
Yeah.
He has. He's given you his first goal for the club.
Yeah, I thought he was unlucky earlier on. He got his legs mixed up with the first one. But this ball in from Declan is, you know, it's just go and put your head on that, really. You know, if you look at it, he's literally, all he's doing is just stretching out because the ball is so perfect. You know what I mean? He's got himself in a position. I always worry when they come from an offside position, but, you know, obviously why they went for 2 minutes to look at it. But at the same time, the ball is so good. He's literally...
I mean, it's just crying out for someone to go and get on the end of it. He's not trying to pick him out specifically. He's just putting it into such a dangerous area where he's saying to someone, get on the end of it. And it was an incredible ball. And a great header.
Yeah, 27 set play goal for Arsenal since the start of last season. Right, what will Arne Slot be saying now? What do you want to see from Liverpool in this second half?
They need to be quicker. They need to move the ball quicker. They have to be more positive. As I said, I thought they went backwards a lot of the time today. They took the easy pass. They didn't want to run forward. They didn't want to pass the ball forward in case they lost it. And they need the bigger players to step it. I think Szoboszlai will come on soon enough if he's not coming on already. I think there'll be changes if Liverpool don't pick it up, because they are distinctly second best, as I said. Arsenal are the better team, and they look the more progressive team.
Got to get their forward players into the game. They've not really had a kick either.
No.
Three of them,
yeah.
Diaz did well for the corner when he flicks it on, but other than that, they've not had anyone run at the defender, not got anyone go past defenders. They've not really asked a question of their marker yet.
OK, all to play for from Liverpool's point of view. They have to come from behind at half-time. Arsenal have the advantage in this huge clash, which, of course, could see Liverpool go to the top of the table, but with only a victory. And Arne Slot and his side have work to do. From Accra and Righty to come, plus all the reaction from the Emirates to that 2-2 draw secured by Liverpool's equaliser in the second half after that explosive start from Bukayo Saka and Arsenal. Pegged back once, then Moreno's first goal gave Arsenal the edge. But Mo Salah, for the 10th time in a Liverpool shirt, scoring against Arsenal, on as even.
He does it again!
All the reaction from both dressing rooms, incidentally, on the way. But let's look at the way Arsenal took the lead with Bukayo Saka, because you mentioned the importance of him before the game. 4 in 3 he's got against Liverpool now.
Yeah, well, you look at the amount of time that Ben White's got with Saka, the amount of space that's in behind him, you'd have to worry for Andy Robertson in this situation. I thought he got too tight there, knowing that Saka would want to come back on his left foot, even though we know he can go both ways. But when you look at the amount of space there is, I'm very surprised Liverpool gave Ben White that much time. But then it's Robertson getting that tight there. But like, he's done brilliantly, because you can't stop him from coming inside there. And he's put us in the lead, which we needed. He's brilliant. He's brilliant again.
Robertson a torrid first half, actually.
Yeah, he did. Andy Robertson had a poor game, really, and Bukayo Saka was the reason for it. It was a lovely first goal, and it came out of nothing. It was far too easy to concede. When you're away from home, you should be difficult to break down, and you know, a simple 50-yard ball over the top, culminating in a wonderful goal for Saka, put Liverpool, you know, down straight away, and it shows you though that his form is excellent for Arsenal. Really important player at such a young age.
Yeah, and there you go. 50 Premier League goals, and you can see some of the names he's with in terms of the youngest to it. And from a wide player coming into the team, that's impressive figures at 16 age.
He's an excellent player. I love his attitude. I think he's missed the last 2 games before today, and that's the first time in 5 years that he's missed back-to-back games, which, when you consider who he is and how many times he gets kicked, you can't help but just like his attitude and like everything about him. Got great ability, and it was a great goal. And that first half in particular showed how much he means to the Arsenal team, and that they're not quite the same without him. But that's understandable, because he's got that much ability.
And he is so durable, isn't he, as Alan says? That's some record, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you consider he's been in the side since he's, just 17, you know, and he's been not only for Arsenal, but England as well, playing very, very regularly and playing at a high standard. This is why I find it's really unfair on him when people are constantly comparing him to other people and other players who come along and they've been doing their stuff for like 18 months, and he's been doing it for coming on 5 years now. And he's been consistent with what he's doing. And I'm just pleased that he can come into a game like this and at levels like he has, and just continue to show what he's capable of doing consistently.
As you say, Liverpool weren't at their very best today, but they managed goals in both halves. And the first one was well worked from a set play from there.
Yeah, it was. Trent Alexander-Arnold, nice whip ball in. I mean, it's Luis Diaz, really. His movements is... You see he's causing chaos on the touchline with Raya, and then the fact that he darts in front of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has to be more aware. He cannot allow him to get in there. And as soon as he gets a flick onto it, it's always going to cause chaos. Yeah. And Van Dijk was the one who was alive to it, closely marked by Partey. And it's a goal from nothing, really, but the set pieces really count in these big games, don't they? Small margins, and any advantage you can take care of, and that was the same there today.
Yeah, great ball in, great movement, but from a defensive point of view, we talk about Arsenal, how sort of good they are at attacking set pieces. That will be something they'll look back on with regret. I mean, particularly Kai Havertz, because he just didn't open his body up. He allowed Diaz to get in front of him. If you're on the half turn and then he doesn't get in front of you, block him, you stop him. Yeah. That's part of your job at that near post. Do not let any opposition player in front of you, because that's what will happen.
Yeah. It's a strange one, because like the way he starts just in front of the near post. So even more, you'd think, I'm going to make sure my arms, get my arm somewhere out. You know, it's not something that I had to do, but I've seen people do it on that near post. You get your arm and you're off, so as if somebody does come, you can at least ease them out of the way. Because when you look at so like you say, I think I was right. You know, you probably look back at that one and you think, again, you know, that could have been avoided. And that's the margins.
And as Alan says, we know how dangerous they are from attacking set plays, and Declan Rice's deliveries today were, particularly in that first half, were a big part of it, weren't they?
Yes. You know, look, because when you look at the goal, what Moreno scores, it's being put into such a dangerous area. It's begging you to just go and head it. You don't have to do anything with it. You just have to get your head on it. And thankfully for us, Moreno did that. But like the ball makes this goal. I think Saka's the same. His deliveries are so good, but Declan's delivery today was absolutely bang on. It's class.
Is that a dream from an attacking point of view, that type of ball?
Yeah, because you just got to make your connection. Everything's on it, the pace is on it, the whip is on it. You've just got to you've got to time your run, obviously try and stay on side, and then just get the connection on it, because the pace is there, and that will take care of the rest of it if you get it on target. Great ball, fantastic header.
Yeah, Mikel Merino's first Arsenal goal that put them 2-1 in front. Liverpool know Arsenal's strength, as we mentioned, 27 from set play since the start of last season, 4 more than any other team. But
as I said,
it's one thing knowing, it's another thing
well,
trying
they
to stop
can't
it,
stop it, can they? They conceded the goal at Anfield last year. I remember early on in the game, I think it was Gabriel who scored from a set piece. And they got caught again today, unfortunately, they did. Was he slightly offside? No, he wasn't. Virgil van Dijk's left foot was playing him onside. But they have numerous set-piece routines, don't they, that they go through. That was a different one there, where they get inside the players, starting an offside position, but it causes chaos. And the fact that they're getting those rewards, it's incredibly important for them.
It's the delivery on it. It's the delivery.
Delivery's brilliant, yeah.
When you've got someone who is as good as like Arsenal have, with Saka one side delivering and Rice from another side, and when you've also got players who are desperate to get on the end of it, and also players who have got great movement. It's all right saying, well, we know what you do. It's another thing actually stopping it, because there's so many things have to be right in the set piece for it to be the perfect one like that. The ball, the movement, the blocking, the connection, all of these things. And Arsenal, as we know, are magnificent at them.
Also, we know how brilliant Trent Alexander-Arnold distribution is. We didn't see it that often today, but we did for the all-important equaliser, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was a bit like the Ben White, Saka movement in the first half. Lots of time and space for Trent to get on the ball and lift his head up. And more importantly, as Al was saying, good movements. Salah's gone, Nunez has gone. Salah may have been offside, so thankfully Darwin Nunez took over. And then he puts it on the plate for Mo Salah. It was a really nice ball by Nunez. Very unselfish run.
The
pulls it
from
back.
Salah's incredible.
It is. You know, no one's going to stop him there. I thought that was pretty good what he done, because you can see he's just overrun it. He's had to adjust his feet very quickly, Darwin Nunez, to get that to him. But you know, he's done very well. But like, obviously, I was gutted to see this, because even with the moving initially, the ball through to Martinelli, I would have preferred him in the moment and where Arsenal were playing to kind of get that ball and go out to the left side, rather than try to take the 2 players on and maybe lose it to get into that situation. So again, you look back and you think, yeah, this if, but we got punished.
And with Liverpool making those substitutions, a few people thought Diaz was having a good game. That's the reason you never take Mo Salah off, isn't it?
No,
you hadn't hardly mentioned his name today.
No, he didn't. He didn't touch the ball a lot. He wasn't involved as he normally would like to be, or want to be. But you know, whilst he's on the pitch, you're always going to have an opportunity, and you're absolutely right. Why would you take your best goal scorer off? Because he can produce something like that. His movement was just incredible. To go down the line, to leave it to Nunez, and then to get himself into the position where he's just hoping and praying that Darwin Nunez actually finds it with the pass.
Yes.
Because that was the one worry, because he was off balance a bit, Nunez. But
he does hold it up. And maybe that little stumble gets Ben White moving as well. Because in the end, Ben White just gets caught. Gets caught behind with the ball itself.
And Arsenal sick of the sight of him, because only Man United he's scored more goals against in his career than Arsenal. He's into double figures.
Brilliant for him.
You didn't say that before. You
Well done to Mo. Well done, Mo.
Well done, Mo.
Yeah.
You were calling them no Mo. He was calling them no Mo at half time. And then suddenly,
no Salah.
Bro Salah. And he said, well, that's what he does. Shuts you up, and he shut me up.
And from Liverpool's point of view, Alan, to get something from the game under Slot, still just 1 defeat in all competitions.
Yeah, I think when they pick the bones out of the performance, there'll be plenty of things that he'll look back on thinking we could have done better there. So when you haven't played to your best of your ability, then you take what you can out of the game. And we said before the game, the important thing is, if you can't win the game, don't get beat. And Liverpool came back twice, and I think they deserved the point. And I said I don't think both teams did enough to take all 3 points. So and I think when both teams look at it, they'll think it was a fair result as well.
Yeah, I think so. It's a hard place to go, isn't it? As we mentioned, Liverpool have played Chelsea, then they've gone to Leipzig, got a really good result. They've got 4 out of 6 against really good London opposition in Chelsea and in Arsenal. A hard week, so they'll be pleased to get back home.
OK, let's speak to the Liverpool captain live at the Emirates Stadium. Virgil van Dijk, of course, got that first equaliser. Virgil, thanks for joining us. I guess when you've been behind twice at the Emirates, You take 2-2?
Well, you know, we came here to win, and obviously to come behind twice and come back is a positive thing. I think the second half, I think we kept pushing and deserved the equalizer. But at the end of the day, it's a fair result, I think. Big battle for both teams, and it was it was hard out there, but obviously for both teams. And I think it was the intensity of pressing and obviously first half they had the momentum, especially after the second goal, and obviously the second half was clear. Our intensity was much better and higher.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was the difference second half from your point of view? Much better.
We kept the ball a little bit longer. We could get more possession, grow into the game a little bit more, let them run a little bit more, and obviously in the end of the day they get tired as well, and gaps will open up. You know, at times they want to press you in 1v1 situations, and it's never easy to run all over the pitch and follow your man, especially when you're getting tired. So we had to keep playing. We had to try and be very secure with the ball and don't give easy passes away, because obviously we all know that they have the quality to hurt you on the break.
Virgil, it's Maka. How is everybody feeling within the camp? A lot of intensive games, you know, in such a short space of time.
Fine. Listen, obviously it's like you said, but for everyone is the case. All the teams that we playing so many games, and you know, now we travel back, we home late night, and then on Tuesday we travel to Brighton and then play Brighton, and on midnight we back, and then Thursday we have a recovery session. Friday we back training -1. Saturday play Brighton again. Obviously I don't complain whatsoever, but we have to look after ourselves, and today was a big battle. We're gonna recover now and take a lot of good points from today, and also a lot of things that we have to improve, because obviously we're striving for perfection. We all know that's almost impossible, but we keep trying, and let's see where it brings us.
Virgil, hi, Alan Shearer. Well done today. Can you give us an opening into your mind in terms of your mindset, and when you're defending those set quality they've got on delivery? Is it a case of trying to be as brave as possible and holding that line? I mean, you got caught by a matter of centimetres, really, with a great ball in the head of that Mourinho got done. But is it trying to hold it as long as possible and be brave?
Yeah, well, listen, you know, we all seen over this season and last season how good they can be in set pieces. But it starts with not giving silly fouls away. I think it was a couple of times, and maybe it wasn't a foul, but obviously the ref gave it a couple of times, and then you know, give them the opportunity to put those crosses in, and yeah, like you said, obviously with the goal it's like centimetre where I think if I jump a little bit higher, obviously if possible, I could flick it away. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah. Well done for coming back. Really appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Virgil.
Nice one, Virg.
Thanks. Ian, no question yet, Ian?
No, because they didn't give me no time for one, Virg.
Go on, ask a quick one, right?
It's always time for you.
Ask a quick one.
Go on,
No, I was just going to say, Virg, you look great.
You do, man. How's your knee? How's your knee?
You know what, Virg, it's getting there. But, like, you know...
Mo Salah made it worse. Put it that way, Virgil.
Virgil, he's got it on the stool here. He's got it on the stool with cushions and everything.
I just want to say, well done, Virg. You lot have
Thank
started
you
well.
much.
People talking about how easy the start's been for Liverpool, but you have to make it look easy. I was hoping you lot wouldn't win today, but you done it again. You came back and done your stuff. So, well done, Virg. I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Ian. See you soon, man.
God bless you.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Cheers, Virgil. Thank you very much indeed. What a caring Liverpool captain asking about your knees.
I know. Virg, I love Virg, and you know what I mean? You can't just blank me like that when Virg is on there.
No.
They blank me. Thank you very much.
I can't believe
it wasn't you, Steve. I heard him. I heard
Thanks,
him.
you're right.
Who was it?
It wasn't Steve.
Who was it?
It wasn't
Hobbs. Who was it?
Hobbsy.
Hobbsy. Righty wants a question.
Yeah. He didn't blank Alan because he's a Newcastle.
I know.
Right, we're going to get some Arsenal reaction very shortly, indeed. Will Liverpool be slightly happier than Arsenal? You can hear Virgil's delight at coming back there.
I think so, yeah, because again, like they've started very well. People are talking about this is the game to find out what Liverpool are about, because their start has been so-called easy. But I think that they'll probably be disappointed with the fact that there's a few of their players who didn't play as well as they know they can play. But other than that, you can come to Arsenal and get a draw. You've got to be happy with that.
Right in my ear, they want to put it right. So we're going to speak to Mikel Moreno, who scored his first goal for Arsenal.
Nice one, Mikel.
And Ian Wright, you can open it up. Go on, you can speak to Mikel Moreno.
Mikel, congratulations on your first goal for the club. I just wanted to to ask you, how was that? How did you find that game in respect of such an important game against such a big team?
Well, hi everyone. It's an honor to be talking to you. First of all, thank you very much for the congratulations. It was a tough game, to be honest, against a huge rival at home. It was an amazing atmosphere. You could sense that it was a massive game for the club and for the players. A little butterflies in the stomach, to be honest. My first start at home. But well, I felt pretty confident in the pitch. My teammates helped me a lot. The fans were amazing today. Disappointed not to get the 3 points, but I think the team did an amazing job today.
And to get your first goal, we've been talking about the team you've come into with the best set-piece record. I mean, the delivery of Declan Rice for your goal. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing ball. Declan has an incredible touch. We pride ourselves on training a lot, set pieces. We have an amazing team in the physical aspect, and we train a lot. So it's always great to see that the thing to train in the training camp, in the training ground, sometimes works on the pitch, and that obviously encourages you to keep training and to put more effort on it.
Mikel, Steve McManaman here. Congratulations today. What a year winning the European Championships as well in the summer. How are you finding the adaptation? How are you finding life in London? Is it similar to Sociedad?
Well, it's similar because it rains a lot.
It rains a lot,
But some differences in the tactical aspect. Obviously, this is a massive city, London, a massive club. You don't realize how big this club is until you're here. Yeah, not the best start for me with the injury in the scapula, a couple of problems there, but obviously trying to bounce back, now starting to feel my legs again, trying to learn the tactics and the new system, and I think yeah, everybody has been so good to me, trying to learn, trying to teach me, being very patient with me. So yeah, just really happy with the adaptation at the club. This is the perfect place for me for sure.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Mikel, hi, it's Alan Shearer. We all felt here today that a draw was probably a fair result. What do you think?
Well, obviously, I think it is a tough game to win today. We have similar options to score. I think our team in general, when we were playing the football we know how to play, we were superior, and we had the tempo of the game. But obviously, when we started like doing things that we normally don't do, things started to change. It was a really competitive game. When we were at our best, I think we were better. So you could say it's a fair result, but for me, we should have won this game. It's 1 point, but I think we have to be disappointed because we wanted the 3 points, and we have to aim for that for the next time.
Nice.
And just finally, Mikel, you're talking about settling in there. I wonder what you found about the intensity of one of the biggest Premier League fixtures, Liverpool, Arsenal, down the years today to play in.
Yeah, I mean, Premier League is amazing. The pace, the strength of the players, the rhythm that the game has. You need some time to adapt to it. It's pretty different to what we experience in La Liga, with more time on the ball, with more tactical maybe style of game. And here you have both, no? You have a little bit of tactical as well, but when you have duels, you have here the best players in the world. Physicality is key. And you have to be 100% to win every duel, because at the same time you lose a duel, it's a transition. In the transition you have 1v1s, you have Salah, you have Darwin, you have Diaz running in your back, and it's always tough. So every game is about details, and if you lose one duel, can be the difference between winning the game or not. So yeah, Premier League is unbelievable, and you have to adapt to it.
Nice.
Well done today. I was about to wish you good luck for the week, but Alan told me not to, because it's St James's Park next, isn't it? So back to your old club.
He knows about that.
Yeah, I know how it feels, and I'm really looking forward to go back home and see a couple of friends, feel again the atmosphere at St James's Park. I have really good memories from my time there, and just hoping to go there and enjoy for sure.
Nice.
Well done today.
Beautiful.
Congratulations on your goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You had to show off your bit.
It's the only way to know.
Right, more reaction on the way. Here's the Arsenal boss, Mikel Arteta.
Well, Mikel, how has all that left you feeling? I guess you've been through a real range of emotions today.
Yeah, very proud of the team for different reasons. The first one because the courage, the quality, the domination, the absolute game that we wanted to play, especially in the first half, and the score should have even bigger in my opinion. So big chances. Then it's true that we have to make changes. They came out a little bit. We didn't have enough courage to play in the first phase more than we should have done. And there are certain very particular moments as well that I think dictates the results.
So does all the context, all the circumstances around this, the missing players, make you even more proud of your players, the ones that were out there?
Even like this, we deserve to win the game, and I think we were the better team, and we didn't. So obviously there are learnings to take from that, especially where we concede both goals. The second one, the transition moment, we have to end up in the final third with a chance to set there, and 10 seconds later we are 2v1 inside our own box at this level against this team. Obviously, you cannot give that away.
I think everyone would agree you controlled the first half. What was the key to that?
Well, because we were very clear what we have to do, the execution, the quality that we showed, the determination, the aggression as well, without the ball to go and attack them and regain the ball straight after was really good, but probably we should lack a few moments where we should have put the ball in the net.
Yeah, but Bukayo Saka's just been out and stood where you're standing. So we didn't play for the full 90. Would you agree with that? Second half didn't match what you'd done first half?
Yeah, especially in that first phase, as I said, that we needed more courage to play like we've done in certain moments, and it's where we created big opportunities.
Do you think losing Gabriel early in that second half, on top of the players you're already out without, do you think that has a psychological effect on the guys that are out there? You become a bit more determined to hold what you've got?
I don't know, and we won't know, but that's the reality that we have at the moment, and we have to face it. That's it.
Can you update us on when you might start having players back? Let me first ask about Timber.
Yeah.
Did you expect him not to make the full 90?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened, but he said he cannot carry on, and Big Gabi as well, so I don't know.
You don't know how serious they are. Martin Odegaard?
As well, I think it's still a bit far.
Okay. Yeah. Let me lastly ask you, Mikel, I think Pep Guardiola said towards the start of the season, you can't win the Premier League in the first sort of 9-10 games, but you can lose it. Do you think what you're doing right now is staying in the fight?
Well, we're going to stay. We're going to try our best. And again, I think the context that we have played those 9 games, probably nobody could ever imagine that it was going to be the case. But I think the character, the personality today, the way we played today against the top team at the moment in the Premier League, it was unbelievable understanding where we are at the moment.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Brilliant, Mikel.
They were the thoughts. What did you think was brilliant?
No, I just like him. I just like everything what he's trying to do for the club. I love the way he not only protects the players, but he's a winner. He wants to win, and he will do whatever it takes to try and win. I love that about him.
He thought they were the better team today.
They were in the first half, there's no doubt about that, but I think Liverpool certainly came back into it second half. But that's fine. He's probably got his Arsenal tinted glasses on, and I expect that. And Arne Slot might come in and say the same thing. But I
feel like you talk about Newcastle, to be fair, isn't it?
Probably, yeah, absolutely, absolutely the same. Yeah. So, but I thought it was evenly matched today over the 90 minutes or 95 minutes, or whatever it was, and both teams deserved a point.
There wasn't there wasn't lots and lots of chances either way, where you could say, oh, this should have happened and that should have happened. It was a battle. And, you know, Liverpool equalised twice and took their moments. Arsenal, I didn't think Arsenal did enough in the second half. I think with people going off the field and people playing out of position, they did drop back and they allowed Liverpool to get lots of possession in the second half. I don't think Liverpool did necessarily a lot with that possession, but they certainly deserved to get back into the game, which they did. And I'm with Al. I don't think Liverpool then did enough to go on and win the game. And likewise, Arsenal almost settled for that then as well.
Yeah, but I thought that there was a spell in that second half where, you know, obviously when we've gone down to 10 men, it looked like that. It looked like, again, was
that the defensive disruption?
I think so, yeah, maybe, but like it looked a little bit like everybody's a little bit like, hang on, we're in the lead, let's protect it rather than keep playing. Maybe keep playing, but then again, I was saying I'd rather us get something out of the game, manage the game to a certain place where you're thinking we've got to get something out of the game. I thought that was pretty early in the second half where they seemed to be playing a little bit too deep.
I asked that because in the second half there, when Gabriel went off, it was the first time in 18 months Arsenal had played without both
of them.
Gabriel and
That would
Saliba.
be-
I just wonder psychologically, they're so important, aren't they? Whether that backs up what
I mean,
you're
this
saying.
happened right at the start of the second half.
He got a dig in the thigh there, with the right on the knee into that little thigh there. I didn't see it at first, but then obviously he tried to run it off, but then, you know what I mean? It's causing him a problem.
There was a lot
Two
of
such giants, aren't they?
Yeah, and there's a
Neither
lot of
them
disruption, wasn't he? The best player to a certain extent on the pitch, Saka, he had to come off because, of course, they had to manage him. They don't want him getting injured. So they lose a little bit of impetus because every time he got the ball, he ran forward and more importantly, he never lost it. So he kept Arsenal in the game. And then you lose him and you lose Timber. So you can see why everybody's gone, wait there, let's just sit a little bit. Let's not take any chances.
But Steve, you see, we finished the game with Partey, White, Kivior and Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's, you know, you have to take that and say, listen, let's go again next week.
Yeah.
No, and I think when you look at Arsenal's fixtures, I mean, it was really important that they got something out of that game today, because I think what they've got their next 6 fixtures, 5 of them are away.
Yeah.
So that's a tough set of fixtures. That is. I mean, the League Cup they'll obviously play a reserve team, but the rest of the games, when you look at them, tough, really tough games.
OK, when we come back, we will get a Liverpool point of view and talk to the Liverpool manager, who still only lost 1 game in any competition. He was twice behind today, but twice his side came back. That all-important Mo Salah goal in the second half has kept his team above Arsenal with that 4-point cushion. But twice at the Emirates Stadium, but they did come back to get a point. He still only lost 1 of his games in charge. Here's what he thought about that game in North London.
Oh, no, so many different aspects to that. What did you make of it?
Eventful, exciting, like you said. Both teams scoring from a set piece. In my opinion, Arsenal first team better than us. I was, of course, not happy to concede just before half-time, but I think if you look at the first half, they maybe deserved to be 1 up. But what pleased me a lot was we had 1 time less to prepare this game, so 1 time less to recover. We had to fly. And then if I look how strong we were in the second half, physique, and also the ones that came in, that pleased me most. And being 2 times down in this stadium and still get a point is a good thing, I think.
So you said before the match that set pieces would be key. With the goal you scored, the set piece you scored, had you spotted anything maybe from the Bournemouth game last week, or the fact they didn't have Saliba?
No, because I didn't think our set piece was any similar to the one from Bournemouth.
Not a little bit with a near post flick, no?
If I remember correctly, yeah, but he played it back towards the 12-yard.
Yeah, you know more than me.
Yeah, no, but it's a good thing that if you play against Arsenal, normally you lose the battle of set pieces. Today we didn't lose that one because we both scored 1, and like I just said, I think first half was theirs. Second half, maybe I wasn't completely surprised that we scored a goal and the equaliser the second half. Let's put it that way.
So if the first half was theirs, what did you say to your players at half time? Maybe what did you change?
Actually, what we always talk about, it's mostly about, okay, how do they press us and where can we find a free player in the midfield, how can we open that up and how can we press them a bit better, because I think that wasn't perfect in the first half. And what helped us, in my opinion, as well, is the players that came in gave us also some new energy, and the ones that kept in the team were able, and they played already during the week, to keep going and keep fighting for a result, and that is what pleased me most in the end.
So what do you think happened second half? And what I mean by that is, do you think they sat off and tried to play on transition? Do you think you started winning more duels? Do you think you forced them back? Why did the game take a different turn?
Yeah, that's always difficult to tell you so immediately after the game, but in general in football it's not that weird that if one team is up that the other team is pushing a bit more. This is what happened also with us last week against Chelsea. I think after we went 2-1 up, we were also trying to defend our lead, and maybe we take a bit more risk. I don't know. What pleased me, I said it many times now, is that after having 1 day less to recover, still coming out here and being 2 times behind and then have so much energy to get the equaliser. And afterwards, both teams kept on going for results. I think that's why we saw a good game today.
So after a really good start, I think the one thing that was thrown at you was a few people say, oh, look, it's been an easy start. The fixture list has been kind. But now you've had the week you've had. You've beaten Chelsea. You've won in Leipzig. You've come here and got results. So what have you learned during a week of really big challenges?
What surprises me is that people say we had an easy start, because everyone that has worked in the Premier League or is still working there, everybody is telling me before I came here, there is no easy game in the Premier League.
And then all of a sudden there is.
Now all of a sudden there are many easy games. But I agree with what the people say. We faced more than a few teams that are bottom league table. And we faced with Man United and Chelsea, 2 top clubs, and today with Arsenal, the 3rd one. So yeah, it's good to see where we are at this moment in time, not only when it comes to results, but also the way we play.
Thank you for your time. Well done.
You're welcome.
Arne Slot, talking about the energy that his changes made there in the second half.
Yeah, and I think it was always going to happen, to be honest, because we all felt that they didn't play well enough in the first half, and we expected a reaction, and whether that was from the 11 players who took the field in the second half, or the changes that were inevitably going to be made, it was always going to be that. And when you're chasing a game, you do sort of spring into action and try and get further up the field. So I fully expected that, and I think he, like Mikel Arteta, they noticed the game really well. Liverpool weren't good enough in the first half, and they were much better in the second half. That's why it was an even enough game.
I think it's always going to be difficult. You're never going to get total domination, particularly when you're going up against the opposition, like in the quality players that you've got. There are going to be times in a game, no matter who you're playing, that you're going to suffer. And it's how you stick together, how well organised you are, how mean you are, and don't give anything away. And that's what you have to do when you're up against it.
Yeah, and that was the challenge, like you said, this week. They've gone to Germany, they've had a day less to prepare, then go to Arsenal.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I'd say with Liverpool, where we know that if you give Virgil enough time at the back, he's going to be able to pass that ball in through that midfield, and then they can go from there. If you give Trent too much time on the ball, then I thought Arsenal done well with them in the first half, and I think that what we saw with the second half, especially when we saw the goal at Trent, is that when you drop off you're going to get punished. You're going to get punished for that. As poorly as Liverpool played in respect of the quality they've got on the pitch, you still can't do certain things against them, give certain players time. You see, like Mo didn't have a great game, but he came up with the goods, because like the margins in staying tight enough to Trent to not make him have enough time to play that ball into a space for Nunes to. It's so tough to keep these teams quiet.
They had 62% possession in the second half, Liverpool.
Yeah, because it was either going to be a half-time who's going to make changes, or it was going to be after 15 or 20 minutes, because whether you're chasing the game, whether you're trying to protect the game, whatever, it's with the number of subs you have, with the number of games you have, the travelling that they have, then he was always going to make it. 1 or 2 players weren't playing particularly well. Robertson had a really tough game. Saka gave him a tough time most of that afternoon, so it was no surprise that he went off as well. So, but when you're making changes, you want them to affect the game somehow. Yeah. Whether that's going in to play better, whether that's to go and protect what you've already got, you need them to affect the game, and Liverpool subs did that.
So, before you and I watched the game at Chelsea last week, you said, let's just hang on a bit here. It's early days. I want to see this week. I want to see Chelsea, a trip to Germany and a trip to Arsenal. They've got 2 wins and a draw. Yeah. What have you made of that week?
Well, I thought they'd been excellent. I think there's all been different types of performances. I don't think they were necessarily sparkling in any of the 3 games that they've had this week, but they went to Leipzig and got a really important result. They've got 9 points now in the Champions League. That effectively, when you've got Leverkusen coming up and Real Madrid coming up, who and they need to win. To already have 9 points is great. They've come to Arsenal today. We said before the game, the main thing is not to lose, to keep in touch with Arsenal, or as many points ahead as they were beforehand, and stay in touch with Manchester City is vitally important. And that's what they've done. And they've managed games at times. They've battled at times. They've rode the luck at times. Against Leipzig, they could have scored. But effectively, they've been quite dominant against those oppositions. So it's. I think you have to be very, very pleased. They've got Brighton at home and away, haven't they, this week? One in the Carabao Cup and in the league. But the league game, of course, is far more important. And again, it's a case of getting back, rest up, and then fly down to Brighton and see what team he's going to put out. But he's going to have to start. wrapping a few of the players in cotton wool, isn't he? Because a couple of them are going to need a bit of a rest, really, because the Premier League is more important, with all respect.
Is that going to be a test for him? Because we've seen, he said he likes a settled side, he likes a change here and there, but he hasn't made wholesale changes in any period.
But
yet.
he's also not afraid to use substitutes, and I think certainly in forward positions that they can do that. Midfield they can do that. But I think the two where it might be more difficult to do that is in the centre half positions with Konate and Van Dijk, particularly where with both of them have started the season. Both of them been a tower of strength and are both having a really, really good time at the minute. So if they were to lose either of those two or both of them, like Arsenal have done, then that would be a huge test for them. But if they're fit, Liverpool will always have a chance.
I think so as well. And when you look at the fact that we know this team, they know how to navigate the season, especially with the start, the so-called easy start. They know what to do. This is why people doing the conversations about Arsenal challenging City without mentioning Liverpool, especially with Liverpool's start. And Liverpool have made this start look easy, because you can imagine, if Liverpool don't make this start look easy, then you're going to get into the Virgil van Dijk contract talk, Mo Salah contract talk. Oh, he's a new manager. Is he losing? So he's quietened all that noise, and they're still second without really breaking a sweat. So the people like Van Dijk, Trent in there, Mo in that dressing room, Robertson in that dressing room, they will know exactly how to manage what's happening right now. They're a dangerous team, Liverpool.
What you would say as well, Liverpool in the next few fixtures have got, I mean, I know the League Cup is away from home, but they've got home against Brighton, they've got home against the Champions League, the next two, the home to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
That takes care of itself when you're playing at Anfield a lot of the time. It's a lot easier, isn't it? And you're not travelling as far. I think the next game might be Southampton away in the league, where they have to go to. So actually the fixtures, now they've got Chelsea out the way and they've got Arsenal out the way, they're starting to look favourable, because they've got home fixes up until, the Manchester City game in early December.
It's the same week as Real Madrid, isn't it? Well, weeks after a bit. Real Madrid at Anfield, then City at
Anfield, But again, you're at Anfield, aren't you? You know already that takes care of itself. The crowd are going to be crazy. They're going to be on your side. 90% of the crowd are going to be on your side. So, and the magnitude of the game makes it, you don't even have to prepare. You know what you're going to do already in those type of games.
In terms of Arne Slot, he's new to the Premier League, but he's inherited this set of players, 75% of which have won the Premier League before as well. I mean, that's a fabulous position for a manager.
Do you know what? I've liked everything that I've seen with him. I like his attitude. I like the way he talks. It's no problem to him talking to the media. He can handle that, no problem at all. He's got a personality. He's not afraid to make changes when he's had to make changes. He's left players out and brought players in, taken players off. So I think it's, when you look at the big picture for Liverpool, I think it's been a really positive start, and they can have a really good season.
And we saw